What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dice House Nerd Assassin's Creed 3 commentary. Bringing this commentary here is a continuation of our full synchronization playthrough run here on Assassin's Creed 3. This is still sequence 3, part 2 of this. And all that, we're going to go up here and see what all exactly we need to do here. And then I'll talk about the optional objectives.
Use the snowstorm to mask your approach. Having second thoughts?
Hardly. But I'll have to approach this carefully.
Go on then. I'll keep watch from here.
I can hide in that cart.
So we gotta sneak up here. Obviously, the very first objective, I'll let you know right away what you need to do is do not kill any guards in here. So make sure you go in here that you don't have any of your weapons selected, at least none of your handheld weapons selected. As far as like your sword or your hidden blades. Fortunately, as you'll see here later in the video, while there is a restriction on killing them, there's no restriction on choking the shit out of them.
Let's see. 2 barrels of salt, 12 pounds pork, 10 pounds beef, 7 dozen eggs, 16 wheels of cheese, none of it French, don't worry. 5 bottles of whiskey, a couple dozen new uniforms, boots, and leather for patching, blankets, a cart feed for the horses. What else? That's it? That's all there is?
Okay, so we're gonna get a ride in here on this wagon or this convoy.
Those cannons are like to cause
And there's
trouble.
our second optional
Perhaps
objective.
I
We're going to
could
have to sabotage
sabotage
those 2 cannons. First, let's worry about trying to get some eavesdropping in on this conversation going on here. And we get to meet a new historical figure while we're here too. Eyeballing around, make sure I don't get spotted popping out of this wagon. Yeah, there was an edit right there. I may have not, not gotten it right the first time through.
General Braddock refused the offer.
Don't hate.
There will be no truce.
Damn it! Why, George? What reason did he give?
He said a diplomatic solution was no solution at all. That allowing the French to retreat would only delay an inevitable conflict. One in which they'd now have the upper hand.
There's merit to those words, as much as I hate to admit it. Still, can't he see this is unwise?
It doesn't.
That's right. That is future President George Washington. George Washington, as you know, got his military career started in the French Indian War. Actually, but the majority of his actions during the war took place prior to war actually being declared. In fact, some of his actions in regards to Fort Necessity in particular may have been some of the things that started the domino effect of actually starting the war
Surely be of use.
between the English and the French, which ended up being called the 7 Years' War over in Europe, because while conflict may have ended in 1758 for the French and Indian War, they kept fighting overseas. But we hear from the conversation, we also have to get inside that tent right there where the green circle's at and get a hold of a map. Lots of blend areas and all that to where you can hide from these guards. I'm trying to get this guy's patrolling down properly here. He's got a very short patrol, but there's a large window right there, as you can see when he is able. I'm just looking around seeing if there's anybody going to spot me doing this. As you can see though, you can't kill him, but you can choke him out. Came over here to get this cannon real quick, and lo and behold, oh look, There's a guard up on top of that tower. Didn't see him at first.
You won't lose us that easily.
Fortunately, there's a blind spot right there.
You come back here.
You can pop into real quick.
Ah, piss on it. Let's get back.
And unfortunately, he gives up pretty quickly on searching for you. So, you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, for General Washington, George Washington, who wasn't a general at the time, he built Fort Necessity and all that because the French had started building Fort Duquesne, which we'll hear about here in a moment, in a few minutes. But there, he actually was defeated at Fort Necessity by the French and captured, but was allowed to leave, along with his troops, and return home. However, there was a French general who was in charge of the troops, Jumonville, who was injured and then later killed, apparently while in Washington's custody, where they don't know exactly what the circumstances were of his death, but they do know he was killed, and the French actually accused him of murdering him, and saying that Jumonville was on a diplomatic mission, so to speak. Now there is a way. This is probably a less riskier way. You can actually go around the outside of this fort to get to the other cannon. However, I was iffy about that drop down, to be honest with you. So I wanted to stay inside the fort here. Plus, I wasn't sure exactly what kind of a route there was around the outside of the fort.
The bastard's running.
So this is like a riskier, less stealthier way of doing it, but you still end up getting the same results here. Obviously, though, the outside portion there, climbing around the little cliff ledges around outside the fort, is a lot better route to be taking. That's George Washington right there. Obviously, I can't kill him. As you see, this is what I meant by it's a lot less risky. But so long as you're not using your weapons, you know, your hidden blade or your sword, you're fine in subduing all these guards. Conversely, too, you could technically, you know, hop over the wall right here, go outside, and then you dive in the water and then swim around the outside of the fort. I chose to go out the entrance right here. It's to the left when you're facing away from the cannon. You know, choke out the guard and run off into the woods after I loot them, of course, because that's just a bad habit I picked up in all the other Assassin's Creed games. Once you're outside the fort, though, as long as you're outside the red zone and everything, you're pretty much good to go. You don't have to worry about any troops or anything on the outside. You got your, you sabotage the cannons. Didn't kill any guards. Pretty much set. I'm gonna run over here now and meet back up with CO and find out what our next step in the plan is here and dealing with General Braddock, which we'll learn a little bit more about in the next video as well.
What news?
Braddock has left to rally his troops. They're marching on Fort Duquesne. It'll be a while yet till they're ready, which gives us time to form a plan.
No need. We will ambush them here near the river. Go and gather your allies. I will do the same. I will send word when it is time to strike.
But that's going to be it for this video here, folks. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I hope it'll help you all out. If you liked the video, please do so by giving it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Until next time, you guys all take care. Bye.